Okay, so we have a 16 Pro, and the back is smashed, according to the customer. He drove over it. He is a fireman with a 70,000, I don't know, his phone fell out, and I guess the fire truck ran over it. 70,000 pounds. I am absolutely blown away that the OLED even works, and that it wasn't just absolutely destroyed, and that it still turns on. He's been using it for a while. Yeah, I have a back glass we're gonna do, and then I have a rear camera. Now I'm gonna start with the rear camera, and yeah, if we're successful, I will mention if your back glass isn't broken and you want to keep it that way, I have a couple of other videos that I might link up here that just show you basically what to do, general steps, because in Apple's infinite wisdom, there is no bezel like there is on a screen. If a screen is broken, you can, be careful and you can remove it without making it worse a lot of the times. But on the back glass, if it's broken, there's no way that I'm going to be able to not just obliterate this thing. Getting into it, we have a couple of different clips. So if your camera button is right here, the clips are above and below. And then on the other side, the volume button side, I guess we just have one about right here and here. For the back glass, there is a connector, which is about right here. And you don't want to open it too far or accidentally damage it, because it is a serialized part. And if you don't have it, the phone will also reboot every 3 minutes. So that's what is known as a panic log issue. But we're going to use some heat and pop off this back glass. As you'll see, some of the stuff will just come out in chunks, and we'll worry about all the broken glass later. Having a curved tool is nice because you can sort of rock it back and forth. It's just easier to, work with. Now, at some point, you should, this is the benefit of having a metal frame. So I guess it would be like, starting about maybe right here. If you can, I don't know if you saw me right there, you can sort of take this and then you get to pry up on the whole thing. Okay, so once again, as you can see, this is where our flex is. I'll show you another angle, which is about right there. Also, with your back glass, there are these two little clips, which are about right here and about right here. You shouldn't need to fight with this too much, but sometimes, I don't know, that's another reason having a curved tool is nice, because you can sort of just rock it back and forth and then it eventually comes out. Next, we're going to disconnect our battery. That's nice, that one just comes right out. Looks like we got a little clip right about there. Our battery is right here with a plus and minus. Before we go disconnecting our back glass or anything else for that matter, you want to make sure you have all power removed from the board. Here's our glass. Now we just gotta come in and clean up our frame. So it helps to mark your old or non-working camera because they look a lot alike. So we have a tri-wing here. We have a tri-wing here. So there's a lot of tape that's around here, and it sort of blends in with, which we may or may not need. But we're gonna start with loosening up these right here. So that's gonna be a little bit of heat. And then we'll go in with some isopropyl alcohol and my spudger. So it's warmed up. You can just poke your flash, and then if you can get something flat, you can kind of just slide up under. Now comes the trickier part. I'll explain it as best as I can, and then I'll just do it. But I like to get this flex off first, because then we have a slightly larger sort of entry point. If I can, no, these stickers look to be, no, I think there's a seam right here. So we're going to heat this up, and then I'm going to try to come in from this side, and then we're going to, all right, I'm going to stop explaining. So with the back sufficiently heated for now, we're going to apply some alcohol, let it get up under, and I mean, if we can, we want this thing looking as OEM as possible. Now we then have, and if this thing tears, it's your wireless charger will still work. So I don't know, I got most of the sticker. I don't know, rate my removal. I guess you got to see it installed first, but make sure we don't have any shards of glass right here. I like to pop in my flash first. There we go. I don't know. Rate my technique. And then we can put these back on. Okay, we can take a back glass and set it aside. Now you don't need this little lens cover, but they're nice to have. And next step for me is going to be to prep the frame and the back glass, which is going to look something like cleaning it up with isopropyl alcohol first. Put my camera cover back on. Next, once again, you don't have to do this. This is just the extra step I take, but this is adhesive primer, and I buy it in like quart size, pint size? I buy it in little jars, and to keep them from going like too gummy and getting messed up really quick, I put it in this little nail polish bottle. But this just makes it so that the gasket that I put down will, it'll stick better. And then I apply it to both sides. You know, I cannot emphasize this enough. This will not make your phone water resistant. But it will help keep dust out, and it'll keep the frame from tapping up against the glass, from tapping up against the frame, which can get kind of annoying. Now the nice thing about having a three-piece is that this is the first piece. Obviously, this is the one you peel off. Then this one helps you align it and kind of put it down without it being all flimsy. And then there's it's kind of hard to see, but there's a third one that's on here. Now yours may have this, yours may not have this, but you do want to, and it just helps keep dust and stuff from, I don't know, building up. And you kind of just peel these things right off, and then you peel them off right before. Now remember, we do have a little, hopefully you can see this, but we do have a little sort of hook that we got to get past right here, which should just be as simple as just sort of getting it on and then just sort of sliding it over to the left. Reminder, the longer screw is in the upper left. Now for the last part, we can pull out our last bit of protective film. I guess this one is almost a one piece, and we got this last little dude right there. Make sure you don't have any loose screws. They have a habit of getting stuck. I should have done this before I closed it, but they have a habit of getting stuck on magnets, which are in the camera, the Taptic engine, the loudspeaker, or along the perimeter gasket. You don't want to accidentally crack the glass or mess something up.